If you're exhausted from over-explaining yourself to men who still don't get it, this is for you. You've explained why you're upset. You've explained why that comment hurt. You've explained why you need effort, consistency, basic respect. And still, nothing changes. You feel drained. You feel crazy. You feel like you're too much, while he stays calm, confused, or defensive. Today I'm going to show you why men actually treat you differently when you stop explaining yourself, and how to shift into that energy without playing games or becoming cold. This is about becoming clear. Let me paint you a picture, and tell me if this sounds familiar. You send long texts explaining your feelings. Paragraphs. Bullet points. Examples from last week, last month, that one time he promised things would be different. You're citing dates, pulling receipts, building your case like you're presenting evidence in court. You explain your standards after he's already crossed them. You're breaking down why canceling plans last minute isn't okay, why breadcrumbing hurts, why you need actual commitment and not just potential. You're teaching him basics that grown men should already know. You over-justify simple needs. Your time matters, you want clarity, you deserve consistent effort, you need respect in how he speaks to you. Things that shouldn't require explanation in the first place. And here's what kills me, you end up feeling like the lawyer in your own relationship, building a case for why you deserve basic decency. You're presenting evidence. You're cross-examining his excuses. You're making arguments for your own worth. You're working harder to explain your standards than he's working to meet them. Meanwhile, he's sitting there like a judge who's already made up his mind, waiting for you to finish so he can say, "You're overreacting," or "It's really not that deep," or my personal favorite, "I don't know what you want from me." Somewhere along the way, you started believing, if I just explain myself perfectly, if I find the right words, if I make him understand the impact of his actions, he'll finally act right. If I can just get through to him, everything will change. But that's not what's happening. And that's what we need to talk about. Here's the truth that's going to set you free, even though it might sting at first. His behavior is not a comprehension problem. It's a capacity and willingness problem. Read that again. Let it sink in. You've been explaining your pain to a man who already understands the impact, he just benefits more from staying the same. He understands exactly what you're asking for. He's just choosing not to deliver it because what you're asking for requires effort, accountability, consistency, or change, and he's comfortable right where he is. It's not because you didn't say it well enough. It's not because you weren't clear enough. It's not because you need to find better words or a calmer tone or a different approach or wait for the perfect moment. It's because he doesn't value what you're asking for enough to change his behavior. And I need you to really hear this next part. Respect is not negotiated in paragraphs. It's communicated in decisions. Think about it. When someone genuinely respects you, you don't have to explain why disrespect hurts. When someone truly values you, you don't have to convince them to act like it. When someone is ready for the kind of relationship you want, they don't need a dissertation on why consistency matters or why your time is valuable. The right person doesn't require you to beg for the bare minimum. The right person doesn't make you feel like you're asking for too much when you're asking for basic standards. Now let's talk about why this pattern exists in the first place, because I know you're not doing this on purpose. You're not waking up thinking, today I'm going to write another essay to someone who doesn't care. You're doing it because somewhere, you learned that this is how you keep people, how you maintain connection, how you earn love. When you over-explain, you accidentally teach him that your boundaries are flexible. You teach him that your no comes with a negotiation period. You teach him that if he stays quiet long enough, or pushes back hard enough, or makes you feel guilty enough, you'll eventually justify yourself and back down. Every single time you explain and re-explain, you're training him that your standards are debatable. You're showing him that your boundaries are suggestions, not requirements. You're demonstrating that if he waits you out, you'll eventually lower the bar. And here's the deeper piece that I need you to understand. A lot of women over-explain from anxiety. You're trying to avoid conflict. You're trying to prevent rejection. You're trying to prevent him from leaving or pulling away. You're trying not to be seen as difficult or demanding or too much or high maintenance. But often, it's not even the grown woman talking. It's the teenage girl inside you trying to convince someone not to abandon her. It's the younger version of you who learned that love had to be earned by being understood, by being easy, by being flexible, by not rocking the boat, by not asking for too much. Maybe you grew up having to explain yourself to parents who dismissed your feelings. Maybe you learned that your needs were only valid if you could justify them perfectly. Maybe you discovered that being easy kept people around while being difficult pushed them away. This doesn't make you weak. This doesn't make you broken. This doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means you were trained to earn love by being understood instead of being respected. And now we're going to retrain your nervous system to operate differently. Because here's what I know after working with hundreds of women: you can't talk someone into valuing you. You can only show them what happens when they don't. Before we get into what to do differently, you need to know what makes you start talking and over-talking. You need to identify your explainer triggers. What are your explainer triggers? These are the situations, phrases, or behaviors that make you feel like you have to defend yourself, like you have to prove something, like you have to make your case. Let me give you some common ones, and I want you to notice which ones resonate. Being called too sensitive or too emotional. The second those words come out of his mouth, you feel this urgent need to prove you're not, to explain why your reaction is actually totally reasonable and justified. Being told you're overthinking this or you're making a big deal out of nothing. Suddenly you're building timelines and providing context and justifying why this actually is a big deal and why your concerns are valid. The silent treatment after you express a boundary. That cold distance, that emotional withdrawal that makes you panic and want to smooth things over by explaining what you really meant, by softening your stance, by taking some of it back. Jokes or comments about you being dramatic or crazy or intense. Even when they're disguised as teasing, they make you feel like you need to prove your sanity, prove you're reasonable, prove you're not what he's suggesting. The confused face or the "I don't understand what you want from me" response. This one's particularly manipulative because it makes you think the problem is your communication when really, he understands perfectly, he just doesn't want to comply. Here's your exercise, and I want you to actually do this because awareness is the first step to change. Before your next difficult conversation, or the next time you feel that urge to send a 4-paragraph text at midnight, I want you to open your Notes app instead. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I don't explain myself? What's the worst-case scenario I'm trying to prevent? Write down the situation. Write down his specific behavior that bothered you. Write down what you actually wanted or needed. Write down what you said or what you were about to say. Then ask yourself this game-changing question: if my best friend sent this to me, what would I tell her to do? What advice would I give her? This shift from emotional brain to logical brain is everything. Because when you're in your emotional brain, you're reacting from that wounded place, from that anxious place, from that people-pleasing place. When you're in your logical brain, you're making decisions from your values, from your standards, from your self-respect. Okay, here's your new operating system. This is going to replace the old pattern of explain, re-explain, explain again, justify, defend, hope for change, get disappointed, repeat. The new rule is, I state it once, I act twice. Let me break down what healthy communication actually looks like, because I think we've all forgotten. Step 1, you feel something. You notice it. You validate it. You don't immediately gaslight yourself out of your own feelings. You don't tell yourself you're being too sensitive before you even express it. Step 2, you state it clearly once. Calmly. Directly. No essay. No justification. No building your case. No providing evidence from 3 months ago. Just, this is what I need, or this doesn't work for me, or I'm not okay with this. Step 3. You let your actions match your words. This is where most women stop. They state the boundary, but then they don't enforce it. They say what they need, but then they accept less. They draw the line, but then they keep moving it back. The mantra you're going to repeat until it becomes automatic is, I don't repeat boundaries. I repeat actions. Let me give you a concrete example so you can see exactly what this looks like in practice. Instead of having 3 separate emotional conversations about him canceling plans last minute, here's what it looks like. First time, hey, last minute cancellations don't work for me. I need plans to be confirmed and respected. I value my time and I need someone who values it too. Second time it happens, I understand things come up occasionally, but this is becoming the pattern I mentioned. Going forward, I won't be available if plans aren't confirmed at least a day in advance and actually followed through. Then, and this is the crucial part, you actually stop being available. You stop clearing your schedule for him. You stop dropping everything when he finally decides he's ready. You stop prioritizing someone who's shown you repeatedly they don't prioritize you. Here's the line I want you to tattoo on your brain: a man might ignore your words, but he will study your patterns. He's learning what you'll tolerate by watching what you continue to accept. He's learning where your real boundaries are by testing where you actually stop him. Your patterns teach him more than your words ever will. Now let's get practical. I'm going to give you actual scripts for those moments when you feel the urge to over-explain. Save these. Screenshot them. Memorize them. When he says, "You're overreacting." Old pattern, you launch into a full defense. You explain all the reasons your reaction is justified. You provide examples of similar situations. You appeal to his logic. You try to make him see that you're not overreacting, you're reacting appropriately to his behavior. New response: I'm allowed to feel how I feel. If this doesn't matter to you, that tells me what I need to know. That's it. Full stop. No elaboration. No justification. No 3-page follow-up explaining why you're not overreacting. Your internal mantra while you say this: my feelings are valid even if he doesn't like them. I don't need his permission to feel what I feel. When he plays confused, I don't get what you want from me. Here's the truth, he does get it. He absolutely understands. He's making you explain again because explaining keeps you in the cycle without him having to change anything. It keeps you talking instead of acting. New response: I've already explained what I need. It's okay if you can't give that, I'll adjust accordingly. Then you stop talking. Let the silence do the work. Let him sit with that. Watch what he does with that information. Does he ask genuine questions? Does he get defensive? Does he dismiss you? All of that is data. When he minimizes, it's not that deep, or you're making this into something it's not. New response: it's deep enough for me. And that's what I make decisions from now. Notice the shift here, you're not trying to convince him it's deep. You're not trying to make him understand why it matters to you. You're stating your reality and moving forward based on that reality. When he pushes your boundary again after you've stated it, this is the big one. This is where you used to launch into full explanation mode, trying to make him understand why he shouldn't have done that, trying to help him see the impact, trying to get him to care. New response: this doesn't work for me. I'm going to take a step back. Then you actually do it. You end the call. You leave earlier than planned. You reduce your availability. You create distance. You stop responding immediately. You stop being the person who's always there despite how you're treated. Your actions are teaching him what you meant when you set that boundary. Your actions are showing him that you weren't bluffing, you weren't negotiating, you were stating a requirement. Here's what I need you to understand: these conversations are not about winning an argument. They're not about making him see your point. They're not about getting validation or an apology or acknowledgement. You're not on trial. You're collecting data. This reframe changes everything. When you're trying to win, you're invested in his response. When you're collecting data, you're observing his response. When you're in a conversation that's triggering your explainer mode, I want you to practice what I call micro-detachment. These are small tools you can use in real time to stay grounded. First, take slow, deep breaths while he's talking. I know this sounds simple, but it works. This regulates your nervous system and keeps you out of fight or flight mode. When you're in fight or flight, you're reactive. When you're regulated, you're responsive. Second, mentally step outside the conversation and watch it like you're observing a scene in a movie. Picture this: a man is working very hard to maintain his comfort, to avoid accountability, to keep things exactly as they are. And a woman is learning, in real time, how not to abandon herself. What would you advise that woman to do? What would you want her to see? Third, repeat this mantra silently to yourself: his reaction is information, not a verdict on my worth. Whether he gets defensive, whether he calls you names, whether he accuses you of being difficult or dramatic or too much, that's all data about his capacity and his character. It's not proof that you're asking for too much. It's proof that he's not ready to give what you're asking for. The right man doesn't make you feel guilty for having standards. The right man doesn't punish you for expressing needs. The right man doesn't make you feel like you're the problem for wanting basic respect. This is where I need to be really direct with you, because this is where so many women stay stuck for years. You are not his therapist. You're not his rehabilitation center. You're not his mother. You're not his life coach. You are a woman evaluating whether this man is ready for the kind of relationship you want. Every single time you argue for your standards instead of enforcing them, you're volunteering to be undervalued. Every time you try to convince him to treat you better, you're postponing the moment when you'll have to decide whether his behavior is acceptable or not. The question is not, how do I make him understand me? The question is not, what words will finally get through to him? The question is not, how do I explain this in a way he'll actually hear? The question is, what does his response tell me about his readiness for the kind of relationship I want? That shift is everything. That shift moves you from powerless to powerful. Because when you're trying to fix him or convince him, you're operating from scarcity. You're operating from, I have to make this work with this person. If I just find the right words, if I just explain it better, if I just give him one more chance, he'll change. When you're collecting data, you're operating from abundance. You're operating from, I'm figuring out if this person is right for me. I'm discovering whether he has the capacity for what I'm looking for. I'm learning whether his actions match his words. See the difference? One position keeps you stuck in explaining mode. The other position puts you back in your power. Let me clarify something really important because I think there's confusion about this. Boundaries are not about punishing men. They're not about revenge. They're not about making him feel bad or teaching him a lesson or showing him what he lost. Boundaries are about protecting your peace and revealing people's true capacity. Think of your boundaries as a filter system. You're not trying to force anyone through. You're not trying to make anyone fit. You're simply seeing who can flow through naturally and who gets stuck, who rises to meet you and who resists. Here's what this looks like in real life, and pay attention because this is how you tell the difference. Men who are emotionally available and ready for real partnership will respond to your boundaries with curiosity or care. They might ask questions to understand better. They might need clarification on what you mean. They might even be surprised or caught off guard. But they're not defensive. They're not dismissive. They're not mocking. They're receptive. They're willing to adjust. Men who are not ready, men who don't have the capacity, men who don't truly value you will respond with defense, mockery, or distance. They'll call you demanding. They'll accuse you of having too many rules. They'll say you're being difficult or high maintenance. They'll pull away and make you feel like you're the problem. And your response to that second category needs to be perfect. Thank you for revealing yourself early. Thank you for showing me who you are before I invest more of my time, energy, and heart. This is not rejection. This is clarity. This is protection. You're not losing the right person by having standards. You're filtering out the wrong people so the right person has room to show up, has space to find you, has a clear path to you. Let me give you a concrete plan you can use starting today. I want you to have a before, during, and after strategy. Before difficult conversations. Take out your journal or your notes app. Write down 3 standards you will no longer explain or justify. For example, consistency in communication, respectful tone even during disagreements, follow through on plans and promises. For each standard, write 1 short sentence that states what you need. I need consistent communication. That's it. Not why you need it, not what happened when you didn't get it, not examples of times he failed. Just the need. Then write 1 sentence about what you'll do if that need isn't met. If communication becomes inconsistent, I will match that energy and pull back my availability. This prep work is crucial because when you're in the emotional moment, you need something to anchor to. You need to remember what you decided when you were thinking clearly. During the conversation. When you feel triggered and want to launch into explanation mode, I want you to pause. Literally pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Count them. Then ask yourself this one question: do I want to explain, or decide? Explaining keeps you in the loop. Deciding moves you forward. Use one of the short scripts we talked about instead of writing an essay out loud. If he becomes reactive or starts arguing or tries to pull you into a debate, you calmly exit the conversation. I'm not going to debate this. I've shared how I feel and what I need. Then you get off the phone. You leave the room. You stop responding. You don't need his agreement to enforce your boundary. You don't need his permission to protect your peace. You don't need him to understand for your standard to be valid. After the conversation. This is the part most people skip, but it's where the real growth happens. Debrief with yourself. Ask, where did I start over-explaining again? What triggered me back into that pattern? Ask, what did I learn about him from his response? What did his reaction tell me about his capacity and his character? Ask, what did I learn about me? Where am I still negotiating my own standards? Where am I still making myself small? This isn't about being perfect. This isn't about never explaining anything ever again. This is about building awareness so you can make different choices next time, so you can catch yourself sooner, so you can stay grounded in your worth. Here's what I really want you to understand, what I want you to take away from this entire conversation. Where you over-explain, you don't yet believe you're enough as you are. You're still operating from that old belief that love has to be earned through perfect understanding, through flawless communication, through making it easy for him, through being low maintenance, through not asking for too much. But the truth is this: the right person doesn't need you to be perfect. The right person needs you to be clear. The goal is not to become cold. I want to be really clear about that because I know some people will misunderstand this message. The goal is not to build walls or play games or withhold communication or become emotionally unavailable. The goal is to become clear. Clear about what you deserve. Clear about what you'll accept. Clear about what you won't tolerate. Clear about when it's time to walk away. When you stop explaining yourself, something powerful happens. The wrong men fall away, and the right ones finally have space to find you. Because confident, secure, emotionally healthy men are not intimidated by your standards. They're attracted to them. They respect women who respect themselves. They value women who know their worth. They appreciate clarity because it makes their job easier. They know exactly where they stand and what's expected. The men who get angry when you stop over-explaining? The men who call you difficult or demanding or too much? They're not mad at your standards. They're mad because they can't manipulate you anymore. They benefited from your confusion, from your constant justification, from your need to be understood, from your fear of being too much. Your clarity threatens their comfort. Your boundaries disrupt their convenience. Your standards require them to actually step up. And that is perfect information. That is them showing you exactly who they are. Listen, I know this is hard. I know it feels scary to stop explaining yourself when explaining is how you've tried to keep people close, how you've tried to make relationships work, how you've tried to earn love. But I need you to see that explaining yourself to someone who doesn't want to understand you, who isn't willing to meet your standards, who keeps making you justify basic needs, that's just another way of abandoning yourself. You're choosing their comfort over your dignity. You're choosing their approval over your peace. You're choosing the possibility of them maybe changing someday over the reality of who they're showing you they are today. And you deserve so much better than that. So here's what I want you to do: rewatch this before you text him back at 2 a.m. Save this for the next time you're tempted to send a 4-paragraph essay. Share this with the friend who keeps writing novels to men who respond with K. And remember this: you are not too much. You're not too sensitive. You're not too demanding. You're not asking for too much when you ask for basic respect, consistency, effort, and care. You're just explaining yourself to the wrong person. The right person won't make you work this hard to be respected. The right person won't make you feel crazy for having standards. The right person won't require a dissertation to understand that you matter. Trust that. Trust yourself. And trust that when you stop explaining, you make space for someone who already understands. Stop explaining yourself. Start choosing yourself. That's how everything changes.